Discussion keeps the world turning.
This is Roundtable.
You're listening to Roundtable. I'm Niu Honglin, joined by Steve and Yushun. Coming up soon, we're happy to present our new tech-centered segment, The Why. This is where we take one story and go beyond the surface. In tech reporting, the focus is usually on the numbers, the launches, and the breaking throughs. But in The Why, we're asking the question that reveals the bigger picture. Why does this trend exist at all? Now, the why.
We know the who, what, when, and where. But what about the why?
Why?
Tell me why. Why?
Welcome to The Why.
Yay.
We created this because in the rush of tech news, we often focus on what and then directly go to how. We want to know how to use it. We want to know how it will help us in our daily life, but we forget to ask why. This is going to be a segment where we take the time to really break down and chew on things that are either new and intriguing or have been around us for quite a long time, yet we didn't really stop and ask why. We didn't really understand the essence of it.
Thank you. I was just about to say, and also things that it's not going to be my segment, but still I'm excited about it because things that I don't understand.
We've been curious about this for quite a long time,
Well,
but didn't ask.
There's so much tech stuff that comes out every single day in the news, and we don't have an opportunity to fully dig into it and explain it and break it down in layman's terms what it means for people. And if there are people out there who are in my shoes, then hopefully this will be helpful to have a tech guy like Yushun break it down for us.
Yeah, and I am really, really excited that this project or this segment has really got landed because we've been preparing for it a while. And then it is because we kind of, as you said, getting to that kind of moment that we just didn't have the time or have the energy to actually stop and then think about the why. Because I feel that the feeling of when you're looking at a quite a tacky topic, and then when you really get to the bottom of it and really get to know the true meaning of everything, that sense of
deeper understanding.
Yeah, is really, really
revelation.
thrilling and satisfying.
I find the way that, we're constantly looking and searching stories in the media across all different types of media outlets. And I find that when I come across tech articles, the articles themselves are written in a way that tech people can understand. But non-tech people would have no idea what you might as well be speaking German in those articles a lot of the time.
Because they would start from how to use it directly. That's practical. That's useful for those who have already got a background in the tech world. But for us, being able to understand what it is, why we have it, and then why it's useful or meaningful to our lives is the starting point of having the sparks that I just saw in Yushun's eyes. So, yes. So, for the first episode, Yushun, what did you pick for this something that we should understand the why about?
This is the word I think you may have also came across recently on social media. It is called token.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it is quite frequently appeared on no matter the hashtag or heated searched charts and everything. So, first of all, let's start with a number that should honestly make your head spin. And that's from the news of Xinhua, China's daily AI token usage, now officially translated as 词元 in Chinese, has hit 140 trillion. And that was announced by the National Data Bureau at the China Development Forum just this week. 140 trillion. What exactly are we counting here? It's not users, not dollars, not searches, but what we just mentioned, tokens.
It's a unit of something. I have always know it's a
Yes.
unit of something. I just don't know what
Yes.
that
I know.
something is.
And you said this number is going to make your head spin 140 trillion. And my brain said 140 trillion. What?
Of what?
Of what? And then you
Yes.
said tokens, and my brain said, what's that?
Yeah, I know. And that is why we're having
So my
the
head's
why.
not spinning yet.
Yeah. So basically, you answered it correctly. It is the smallest unit AI uses to understand and it's also process information, much like the characters and words humans use to communicate. So it's officially translated as 词源, and that might still sound a bit abstract, and that's totally fine because today we're going to help you make sense of it. And here's why that number is so shocking, because back in early 2024, it was just 100 billion tokens that's been used. And then that's more than a 1,000-fold
Wow.
increase in just 2 years. So naturally, this raises a question, what did it explode, or why did it explode so fast? Is it just because more people are chatting with AI because it is essentially connecting with the use of AI, right? Or is there something deeper going on beneath the surface?
My guess would be, at least in part, it's because people are chatting more with AI. I know that I am. When ChatGPT first came out, it's now years ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
I knew what it was. And even I talked about it on my show at that time, but I didn't really use it every single day. Then, now it's ChatGPT and DeepSeek and other platforms have become so commonplace in our lives now that I don't just, and of course I use those tools for work, but I've started to use them more and more and more in my daily life as well. And so the thing that I used it most recently for was to help me follow a gym and diet pattern. Seriously, I'm using ChatGPT as almost like a diet trainer for me. Yeah. I'm taking pictures of the food that I eat at every single meal, and it remembers, right? So it's following along. And then it's doing like a rough calorie count for me. So it's kind of helping to keep me in line. And then last weekend, I ordered a roast duck and a can of Coke. And I said, is the Coke okay? And the ChatGPT said, Steve, do you want me to tell you how much sugar is in one can of Coke? And I said, turning phone off so I can enjoy my food now. But yeah, my point is, I guess that was a very long way of saying, yes, I do think it's because people are chatting with AI more and more on a daily basis.
Okay, my answer is that in my world, there are two categories of things that I use AI with. One is the free ones, and the other is the ones that needs me to charge. And when I charge, I can buy tokens, or I can become a subscriber of a monthly VIP user of a certain AI, no matter it's Doubao or DeepSeek, and I get a certain amount of token. So initially, the reason that I understood it as a unit of something is because I believe I was buying that something so I can upgrade the level of my AI so that it can help me with harder or deeper or more complicated things, or in a better way.
I don't know if it is better, I guess, but these platforms, well, they're all designed differently, I guess, but they have a daily limit sometimes where you can chat with or upload files, or photos. But then when I reach my daily limit, I just stop.
Yeah.
And then it recharges and I use it for free again the next day. But so if I want to pay for the upgraded service, I'm paying for the tokens
That you are going to use.
that I am going to use. So
Yes.
the tokens are like a currency.
And
Kind
that was why initially I thought it's a unit of something, and I was buying the unit of something. So I wonder, in your opinion, from a semi-expert in the tech world, Yushun, what do you think is the most important why behind the whole token-related world?
So, the important why, I think, is why is this tiny invisible unit token now being treated as the number that defines the entire AI economy? Because both of you mentioned some of these
Did
scenarios.
you want me to answer that question?
Of course not.
We can't.
I am.
We'll be here for a while.
Yeah, I'll be giving you some options to answer that questions and see if you can guess or just explain or just analyze the reason.
Okay, what's the question again? Sorry.
So why is this tiny invisible unit token now being treated as the number that defines the entire AI economy?
Okay.
So first of all, I have 3 options for you. A, because token is simply the most accurate way to count words and text length. B, token represents the smallest unit, well, you kind of mentioned it, smallest unit AI uses to process information and also directly measures cost, memory, and computation. And C, because token is a standardized global currency created to trade AI services across platforms.
You go first.
I kind of want to say B and C together because my initial understanding would be C, that is, it can buy token, but the part that is standardized global currency is not true because I don't think the price is fixed for each and every platform. So that's why I'm striking off C a little.
I'm going to say no to C as well because even though I said before, tokens are kind of like a currency, I think tokens are only like a currency to us, but to the AI, I don't think tokens represent currency at all. To the AI, it has to represent some type of thing that allows them to compute or do whatever it is that they do. So I'm going to guess B.
You know, I always like Steve's logical thinking when he was guessing some of these questions.
AI doesn't need currency.
Yeah, and the answer is Steve was correct.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
I'm going to retire right now. That's it. My career is over. I'm good with it.
Actually, yeah, both of you touched upon some of the ideas of how token works because Steve said you uploaded pictures and then they will reply something of the idea or advice for you. And Niu Honglin was saying that you were buying token, right? And these are actually some kind of advanced requirements that we are using with these chatbots because previously we can still remember that we're just talking to them and they're replying to us, and these are just simple text responding text kind of behavior. And a token is not really a word, it's not exactly a character either, and think of it as the smallest chunk of information that an AI model can understand and also process. You all said you're kind of using AI almost every day. So when you're opening a chatbot like Doubao or DeepSeek or ChatGPT and ask, okay, summarize this article for me. So when you're sending this sentence, your question means token being used, for example, 10 tokens. And then the AI platform is analyzing this article, and then this behavior, this action also consumes token.
That's why when we were discussing the fact that by saying thank you, we are actually causing some more tokens.
Yes.
It's because when we say this, when we say thank you to AI, they would need to use token to understand what we're saying.
And
they
also
also
reply.
reply. So in that case, why am I not paying for all of my interactions with AI? How come I'm only paying for the harder, complicated, or upgraded ones?
Yes, it is very interesting question because some of the AIs, chatbots, or even picture-generated AIs, we use it for free, right? And many AI tools are free because these companies use a mix of strategies. First of all, they offer free token allowances to attract users like these free trials. And Steve, you said you have some kind of allowances daily, and then when you use it up, you just stopped it, right?
Uh-huh.
So these kind of behaviors also, it is useful because they can learn from how people use their products to train their own AI. So you're actually also making maybe profits or benefits for them,
So
even though you didn't pay anything.
So, yeah, we're talking about things like DeepSeek and ChatGPT and things like that, but it can be different types of platforms too. there's a lot. We go on social media these days and we see AI generated videos, right? And there are platforms that can generate these videos for you either from a text prompt or from a picture that you upload yourself. And a lot of these paid platforms, that's where I saw this word before, tokens. So you buy tokens for the AI video generators. And so what you're paying for essentially is
computing power.
It's not the subscription. It's not like a magazine subscription, is it? You're paying for the tool, for the AI tool to compute everything for you. And the cute little term that they use for it is token.
Yeah, that's why companies don't charge you per question. They charge you per token. So in a way, token is becoming the electricity bill of AI. And the more you use, the more you pay.
That's the something in a unit of something I was thinking about the entire time. Okay, now, the next question from my end would be that for a certain mission that I want AI to do, they do it very smoothly. But for some other missions, not only can't they do it very quickly and very smoothly in my daily life as I anticipated, they would even say something like your computer does not have the ability to conquer that mission, to do that, to deliver that result.
I don't know what you mean. Can you think of an example?
For example, if I am asking AI to generate a short video that I have a model already in front of my face. For example, a cat dancing to a certain piece of music. That is okay. They can give me the video, the final result, in several minutes or several hours at most. But if I tell the AI to generate the same length of a video, but I give it very specific instructions, like I want the cat to be this type of cat, I want it to move to this angle. I am creating something from scratch, not from the model that it provides me. Then things got complicated.
Yeah, and because think about it, they are thinking or analyzing your requirements, your requests, and then actually that's how token or AI works, because they are generating that kind of token in real time.
Yeah, but I think there's another issue. Correct me if I'm wrong, Yushun. I think there's another issue there, is that it's not just what it needs to be able to compute, the power to compute what you've requested, but it needs to be able to understand what you've requested as well. And
transform my words into something that it can compute or to wave together too.
And I've used these video creation tools a lot, but here's the problem, or here's what I experienced. So, and I guess we're kind of on a different topic now, sorry, Yushun. But so I have in my brain very clearly what I want the video to be, right? I can see it in my mind's eye. I know. And I think I give a perfect explanation in the prompt box. And I expect exactly what I put in the prompt box. Now, what comes out of the prompt box is not at all what I wanted the video to look like. Is that the AI tool's fault, or is it my fault? Well, in my thinking, it's kind of my fault because I don't know the specific language to use to talk to the AI. And this is an issue these days as well, how to get the AI to do what you want to do. You have to know how to talk to it. You're not talking to another human being. You're talking to a computer that understands a very, very, very specific way of explanation. But I guess to tie it back to your topic, Yushun, and going back to the 140 trillion, that
tokens.
That we're wasting more and more tokens when we don't speak to it, when we don't get what we want from it the first time we request something, which is the problem I guess you had.
Waste is one, I think, perspective of it. And I think another perspective is that it is becoming or silently becoming the infrastructure, because more and more AI or more and more tools and platforms are becoming the infrastructure of so many industries. So, and that is why we're using so many tokens. And then it is becoming a fact that it is the infrastructure that is working continuously 24/7 for us.
Right, because it's not just people like you and I, Niu Honglin, making our what was it? Dancing cat videos.
Dancing cat video.
I need to know later.
And
But hold on. So sorry to interrupt. It's not just you and I talking to these AI tools to do what we want. This is being used at hospitals now. This is being used for drone delivery. This is being used for autonomous vehicles. This is being used in restaurants for coffee robot makers. This is being used everywhere all the time now. And every time AI is working and doing and working and doing, it's using more and more and more and more and more tokens. Am I correct?
yeah, and what does that 140 trillion tokens actually mean in the real world is that they are to AI what kilowatt hours are to electricity.
Okay.
Tokens are to AI what kilowatt hours are to electricity.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
When we say 140 trillion tokens, what we're really saying is AI is being used at a massive and also industrial scale every single day.
Then I have another question, because when we talk about kilowatt hours and electricity, and we've learned through messages from governments and media, when you leave a room, turn off your lights. You're wasting energy, right? We should do what we can for the environment to help conserve as much energy as we can. Is that not the same question here? Should we not ask that same question here? Stop using as many tokens as we're using all day, every day?
Yeah.
Or maybe are we asking why are we using so many more tokens now? And are we going to use more and more and more tokens in the future?
And short answer, first of all, probably yes, but not a very simple way, because these two forces are happening at the same time. One, the demand of using AI is exploding because we're having more applications, more usage, so more tokens. And also efficiency is also improving. Better models, fewer tokens needed per task. So the future is a bit of a paradox. We may use fewer tokens per task, but we may use more tokens overall.
Yeah.
And then there is a really, really fascinating shift in mindset. That is, why are some people saying just, don't pay me money, pay me in tokens? Because that is, I also heard that from some of the practitioners.
I've never seen that.
Yes. These,
Pay me in tokens.
that come back to kind of the currency idea again. This sounds weird at first, but it actually makes sense because in the AI economy, tokens are like access to intelligence, ability to build and create and to automate. And that also equals to that productive capacity. So for developers and startups or companies, having tokens can be more valuable than having cash. So it's kind of like saying, I don't need money. Just give me unlimited electricity. Or in an easier way, just give me unlimited computing power.
Well, this is fascinating. I can continue asking a lot of whys or hows in the sense that, well, since we do have some of the technology to allow us to use less tokens for the same mission because we're doing or using better coding, greener coding? And is it possible that in the future we get to see not the rising of prices in the token world, but also see a lowering of it? And since we're talking about prices, is it possible, or is it a threat, a risk for common people like us to think about the fact that we can get access to the smartest AI, because the smartest AI would cost more token, which means the smartest AI might be a bit more pricey? Are we looking at a world where in the future we need the government to give, well, we definitely would need the government to give better and more detailed guidelines in the development of AI to make sure the quality in the AI using world? And also, what does this mean for our energy suppliers? What does this mean for building a greener future? These are all the questions we can continue to ask. But what's fascinating about the why segment is that it's the segment where you get to observe the trends, the latest technological breakthroughs, and ask the whys.
Actually, my favorite takeaway today no offense, Yushun, is that you make so many dancing cat videos, so many, in fact, that your computer says, I can't handle this anymore.
Well, at least that is a very obvious way people can understand the use of token.
Yeah, well explained. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. And that brings us to the end of today's roundtable. We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's topics. Leave us a comment wherever you listen to your podcast or send us an email to roundtablepodcast@qq.com. I'm Niu Honglin with Steve and Yushun. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.